Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little first impressions using the new Colourpop foundations. I also picked up one of their No Filter setting powders and then their No Filter sheer press powder. Trying these out today. I did pick up 3 of the foundations because based on the descriptions online, I honestly couldn't just like pick one. So I picked 3 of them that seemed pretty close to what it described as my skin tone. For reference, the only foundation I usually ever wear is Fenty, and I'm in the shade 190 in Fenty, so I kind of went off the descriptions of that. Let me read the descriptions again of the shades that I picked up. Well, on their Instagram, they kind of gave like descriptions. So the ones that I picked up were light 45, light 60, and light 75. Light 45 is described as a neutral foundation with yellow undertones for very light skin tones. It says Fenty 180 is slightly lighter. So I think that one might be the best one because I'm 190, so I'm assuming so. And the description for the Fenty foundation that I use is a neutral with peachy undertones. So light 60 is described as a neutral foundation with peachy undertones for light skin tones. And then light 75 is described as a neutral foundation with peachy undertones for light to medium skin. Pretty much what I am. I know a lot of people think that I am a warm undertone, but I'm definitely not. I'm definitely a neutral with peachy. I'm not really yellow that much. I do have a lot of peach in my skin tone, even though a lot of people think that I am a straight up just warm tone. I've learned over the time that I am a neutral with a peach undertone. So this is light 75, light 45, and light 45 actually looks pretty light, so I don't know how that one's gonna look, but so light 60. So these are the 3 that I picked up. By the way, this isn't gonna be like a review, more so like a first impression because I haven't worn it yet. I am gonna do a wear test. I don't know how long yet because I do have to leave later on and I'm not gonna be wearing makeup later on, so I'll see how long I can wear it for. I will wear it for as long as I possibly can. It's like 3:30 right now. I got home today pretty late. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, my mom is in the hospital right now, so I've been over there, so I don't know what time I'll be leaving to spend the night there again tonight. Anyways, so these are the 3 that I picked up. It's really hard. I really like that they're glass. I mean, I like it to a point. I feel like it seems really nice, but like obviously that could break. This is the packaging for it. I don't really know if you guys care too much about that. So I'm gonna swatch the Fenty one on my hand and see how it looks in comparison to the other ones. This is Fenty 190 on me. Let me do light 75. 75 is definitely a lot more peach. So here's Fenty, and then here is the Colourpop light 75. It also is a tad bit darker. Do light 60. I like that there's a pump on here too. Remember, if I mentioned already, the Colourpop ones are $12. Light 60 looks pretty damn close to the Fenty 190. That one definitely is the closest one from what I picked up. I'll also do light 45. And I haven't watched anyone's Colourpop foundation video to even base my shades on. So light 45 is definitely a lot lighter and it definitely pulls more yellow. But that one's pretty light. So I'm gonna try light 65 first. Come out with a primer, which I kind of wish they did. I really like primers, so hopefully later on they will come out with primers. But for today, I'm just gonna use the Fenty Pro Filter Retouch Primer, whatever it's called. I'm literally like scraping the shit out of this because I don't have anything left in here. So I'm just putting it on like this. Don't mind me. But this primer works very well with my skin. I also feel like from the description of this foundation, it seems pretty similar to the Fenty one. So I hope that this primer works really well with it. Another one of my favorite primers is the Smashbox Hydrating Primer. Now that that's all rubbed in, I also picked up the translucent setting powder and then the light pressed powder. I really don't ever use pressed powders unless I need to set my foundation, so but we'll see. So I'm going to take light 60 and I'm just taking I took 2 pumps. And I'm just using a sponge. This is a damp sponge. This is from the Makeup Shack. It has pretty good coverage. Actually, it has really good coverage. More of a like medium kind of coverage kind of gal, but this one seems pretty nice. It seems to be blending into my skin pretty well. The color match is pretty good. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good color match. I only use 75 when I'm like a little bit more tan too, so that's nice. Yeah, initially this does have a little bit more coverage than the Fenty foundation. Fenty is definitely like a medium to full that you can build up, but I usually only use like one layer of the Fenty because I like more of a medium coverage. I don't really need too much coverage. It looks pretty good. This says it's developed for the selfie age. Our full coverage natural matte foundation delivers flawless looking skin from day to night. It's oil free. It is pretty lightweight. It does feel very lightweight on my skin too. It doesn't really feel like I'm wearing a heavy foundation. It has an innovative soft blurring pigment, blah blah blah. This is a natural matte foundation. I would say that it definitely doesn't make me look like a dry, flaky mess because it's not like extremely matte, but it definitely looks like a very natural matte finish. I could definitely still see a little bit of a sheen to my skin, but it is more of a natural matte finish, which is my favorite kind of finish for a foundation. I love matte foundations. I have a normal to dry skin tone. I have a normal to dry skin type, but even though my skin is a little bit more on the drier side, I love matte foundations. I like it. I wouldn't say it's extremely full coverage. I would definitely say this is medium full coverage. I like the way that it looks. I don't think, like, I can still kind of see like my freckles right here, but it does pretty much cover everything else, and I think it looks really nice. This color match is pretty damn good. I'm gonna go ahead and put some concealer on. I'm using the Colourpop one, the one that I always use. This one is in the shade Light 18. It's like the perfect concealer to kind of brighten. I don't like a too bright of an under eye, but this one works really well. It's blending into the foundation really nicely. I have my concealer on. I'm gonna set it. I normally set my under eyes with the NYX HD powder, but for today I'm gonna use the No Filter translucent setting powder. I don't really like to bake under my eyes, so I'm just gonna set it like I normally would. I'm just using a brush. And I'm just using this to set wherever I put my concealer down. Feels really nice. It doesn't feel like it's over drying or anything, and it looks pretty smooth. Now that I went ahead and set my under eyes, the foundation, I feel like I could probably get away with not setting it, but I like my foundation to feel a little bit more matte. Definitely, like, it's not tacky, but it's not completely set either. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the No Filter Sheer Pressed powder. This is what the packaging looks like, and it says light on the back. I like that it has the color on the back. There's also a little mirror in here, and the powder. Both this powder and the press one are $9. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face with this. I like to use the Time 102 brush to set my face. And like a really light layer of it. I don't want to be too powdery, but I like the way the foundation looks on my skin right now. It doesn't look cakey or anything. It is settling in my laugh lines already, but I'm used to that already. My laugh lines are like my biggest problem. Like, I can definitely see that I'm wearing foundation around my mouth area, but my skin's also really dry right now. This area is my problem area when it comes to foundations anyway, especially my nose too. But my nose looks fine. It's just my smile lines, which I said is my biggest problem when it comes to foundations. I get smile lines like immediately with everything, so that's just my face. But other than that, I think it looks okay around my nose, my mouth area. Like, it's fine. It's not anything that I'm like, oh, it looks disgusting. It looks fine. And once the foundation is set, it looks really nice. My skin looks flawless. It definitely looks like a natural matte foundation. It doesn't look too matte, but it's definitely not dewy. I'm gonna go back and use the setting powder as well to do my nose bake that I always do. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna bronze up my face and everything. See how everything blends on top of it. I'm just using the Physicians Formula Sun-Kissed Butter Bronzer. It's a Colourpop brush too, by the way. This is the F13. And everything seems to be blending fine on top of it. Like, I'm not getting like patchiness or anything from the bronzer, which is nice. Go ahead and contour my nose. This is where I can kind of tell if like a foundation is sitting well on my skin too. Like if the nose contour blends nice on top of it, which it seems like it is. The contour powder that I'm using, by the way, is from Makeup Geek. Okay, that went on like super nicely. It's not like sticking to certain spots. Like, you know how sometimes like foundations, it'll like kind of just stick to certain spots and look like blotchy and stuff? It's not doing that. Same with the bronzer and stuff too. Back in with the setting powder, and I'm gonna bake with this. Like I said, I don't normally bake, but I do bake the sides of my nose all the time. This powder is really like finely milled. I like it. My favorite powder to bake like the sides of my nose and stuff is the Laura Mercier. So if this is that good, that would be nice, because this is a lot cheaper than Laura Mercier. Powder is like really, really finely milled. Like, it's very velvety. It feels really nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and let that sit. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and like my eyes and stuff, and then I'll come back to kind of give you guys my final thoughts. Since the foundation, everything is set now, right now it is 340. Yes, I am my wallpaper, don't judge me. Right now it's 340, so this is once like everything has been on my face. Mention really quick, the foundations have 0.85 ounces, so it's not a full ounce, but then again it's almost an ounce, and it's $12. So the setting powders have 8.5 grams, and then the pressed powder has 5.5 grams. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, and then I will be back to kind of give you guys my final thoughts. This is my completed look. I'm gonna go ahead and dust away this powder. Get it baked my nose pretty well. By the way, on my eyes, I have the new Milani Gilded Desires palette. This hasn't come out yet. I just got this in the mail today. It's bomb. My eyes look pretty bomb, and the formula seemed really good. I really like it. That comes out on the 25th. First impressions on the foundation is that it looks pretty good. The only thing it is like this part of my mouth area just looks kind of, it doesn't look cakey. It just looks like I'm really dry there, but my skin is pretty dry already today. Maybe that might be why. But I moisturized my skin before and stuff. But other than that, my skin looks pretty good. I like the way it looks. It doesn't look like cakey on my face. My face looks really, really smooth, and it looks flawless, to be honest. Like the setting powder, it made my under eyes look really smooth too. And the like pressed powder did set my face as well. So I normally don't ever really set my face with powder. If I do, I usually use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder. That's like the powder I would use. And this one feels pretty similar. It's pretty lightweight. It doesn't really like extremely mattify my face, but I think it looks really nice. Wear this for as long as I possibly can. I'm not setting my face with setting spray or anything, because I never set my face with setting spray. So I wanted to mention that the pumps don't come with a lid, which that doesn't really bother me, but it might bother you. The pump does lock though, so like when you twist it, it opens and then it locks. It's 4:13, so I've had the foundation on for about like 30 minutes. Go ahead and wear this for as long as I possibly can. I'm not too sure how long I'll be able to wear it for. I would say at least like 5 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wear this, see how it is, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts at the end of it. Hey guys, so right now it is 9:10. I've had this almost on for like 5.5 hours. So I think it looks pretty good. The only thing I will say is that my smile lines look pretty bad. Like it's pretty creased. Usually like I'll have like some indentation, but this is pretty creased for the most part. Like it literally looks like I have like wrinkles. I can show you guys my smile lines. Don't mind these black dots. I like squirted lash glue there, but don't know if you guys can like see my smile lines. It's not the worst that I've ever seen my smile lines look, but they're not looking their best. I mean, I don't look like oily. I definitely think it looks a little bit more dewier over time. But other than like my smile lines, I think that the foundation looks really good. Like, I'm pretty impressed with it, except for my mouth region. I don't know if it just is like how my skin is acting today, because even since I first put it on, I didn't like the way it looked around my mouth. And like I mentioned, like this area is my problem area with every single foundation. The only one that it's not super bad with is the Fenty one. But even with the Fenty foundation, and that's my favorite foundation, like no other foundation even compares to that one to me, I still get smile lines with it. So it's just like my mouth area, but other than the smile lines, it looks fine. I don't mind that I get a little bit shinier in this area. Like, it's not shiny, but it definitely looks a little bit more dewy and radiant. I wouldn't say I look oily. I just look a little bit more radiant and stuff, and I don't mind that. But then again, I do have more normal dry skin, so I don't really know how that would look if you had oily skin. I know the foundation is oil-free. Also, the Fenty primer is a little bit mattifying, so I don't know how that would work on oily skin. Alright, so let me just give you my final thoughts on everything. So for the foundations, do I recommend them? Yes, I think it looks really good. I am going to keep wearing it to see what I can do about like this area, but like I said, my smile lines is my #1 problem when it comes to any foundation, so it's not something that bothers me too much. That I think the rest of my skin looks great. I think it looks really flawless. It feels super lightweight. It doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything on my skin whatsoever. It is extremely lightweight. I also want to say, like, immediately, since it is like a more natural matte finish, my skin didn't feel tight or dry. I think that the shade range is great. 42 shades is pretty good for especially being an affordable brand. I'm very impressed with the shade range. So happy that Colourpop finally came out with a foundation, so now I can do like a full face tutorial with Colourpop now that they have complexion stuff. Setting powder, this one, I do like it. I don't think it like made me extra matte or anything. I think it's just like a good setting powder. I liked it for baking my nose. I did set underneath my eyes, and my under eyes don't really seem to have really much creasing like whatsoever. So that's really good. I also did a flash test, and I didn't really have any flashback with it either. Your pressed powder, honestly, I'm not like a pressed powder person. I literally just picked this up just for this video because I rarely ever use pressed powder. Like, it's not something that I reach for. I do like that it is sheer, so it doesn't really add any more coverage. I think it set my foundation pretty nicely, so I like it. Would I repurchase it? Probably not, just because I don't really use pressed powder like ever, and if anything, I probably would just use my Wet n Wild one to kind of set where I need to set the foundation, and that's about it. If you guys do like pressed powders, I don't think you'll be disappointed in it. It's just a nice smooth powder. My face does look really smooth though. Like, I am really impressed with how my skin looks. It just looks really natural. Not like it doesn't have like a natural coverage. Like, my skin just looks nice. Like, it just looks really nice. Do like the foundation. Do like that it's in a nice bottle. I like the packaging. I like that it has like the stars on here. I like that it has a pump. I like that it's affordable. $12 isn't too bad if you think about it. L'Oreal Pro Matte is like, what, like $13 at the drugstore. Happy with it. I'm definitely going to keep using it, and definitely kind of switching it up between this and my Fenty one. Even that's saying a lot, considering I don't switch my Fenty foundation for anything. Like, that's literally the only foundation I ever wear. So the fact that I would even switch it up to throw this into my routine is saying a lot. Color match, for me at least, was really, really spot on. Now I have a light skin tone, and I know that there's 1,000 foundations out there for light skin tone, but for me personally, I do really have a hard time finding foundations for my undertone. Like, it's always either too pink or too yellow. So I'm happy that I found like a pretty spot on match for my skin tone. Hopefully Colourpop brings out some primers. I would love to see some primers in the line of stuff that they're bringing out for like the face and stuff, so I would really like to see that. I also wanted to mention, I know a lot of people, when they do like foundation tests and stuff, they do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge. I didn't do a brush because, honestly speaking, I never use a foundation brush, like, ever, for any foundation, especially when it comes to matte foundations. My skin is too dry for that. If I use a brush with a matte foundation, my skin is just going to look cakey and dry, and I'm not even going to try to make that look good because it's not. Like, I just know how my skin works, so I didn't use a brush, and I pretty much use a damp sponge for every single foundation that I use. I can't even remember the last time I used a foundation brush with a foundation and like not like a tinted moisturizer or something. So I'm gonna keep trying it out. And Light 60, perfect match for my skin tone. So if you have a similar skin tone as me, then that might be the perfect match for you. Just gotta read the descriptions that they have on their Instagram. I think that was really helpful. My description of what I have on my base and stuff right now, if you guys are curious about like my eyes, my lashes, and lips and stuff, it'll all be listed down below, as well as all my social media platforms. If you don't follow me already on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, then you definitely should. I will leave that here and also down below. Like this video, and I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions about the foundation or the shade or anything like that, just leave me a comment down below and I'll try my best to get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.